Hello, everyone. Welcome to Yachting International Radio. You're with Corinne Rayson from the Wellbeing Project. Today, I have Chief Stewardess Natalie with us, and we're going to discuss leadership. But more importantly, Natalie is going to weave her experience of working in the industry and combining that with her learning from the course and giving us insight into how to be an effective leader. So welcome, Natalie.
Hi, thank you for having me.
My pleasure. Natalie, would you mind giving us a little bit of background in terms of your experience in the industry and how long you've been a chief stew for?
Sure. I started yachting in 2012, so I think I'm around the 10-year mark now. I have been a chief stewardess for about 6 years. And I have worked on boats from 37 meters to 82 meters. And I've worked in a land-based estate for the Governor of New South Wales for 6 months.
So you fulfilled a lot of leadership roles. And my first question to you is, why did you decide to do a leadership course? Because it's not compulsory for heads of departments to do leadership courses, especially in interior.
I stumbled upon the course unintentionally. I wasn't seeking to do a course. I was looking at strategies to deal with more conflict resolution and dealing with difficult personalities within the industry and life in general. And through my research, I came across this course, and a lot of the modules seemed to tick the boxes of what I was seeking at the time, plus more components. I'm a big believer in self-growth and personal growth, and this course sounded like it would allow that and give me more skills to be a better leader for my team.
Fantastic. And that's something I admire about you, is your passion for personal and professional development. And I know that you provide a lot of resources for your team, and you go way over and beyond with regards to training. So not only do you provide the hard skill training, but you also really invest in their more personal goals around growth and providing them resources around that. Can you tell me a little bit more about that and how you do it?
The reason why I do it would be my first chief stew, who I was under for 3 years. It was very demanding, but she provided a lot of mentorship for me, and it allowed me to grow later in the years. What she taught me allowed me to grow personally, but definitely evolved professionally a lot within her. And I really valued that experience. I think I had a really good first experience in that sense. And so I try to impart that onto my team because I've seen and experienced how much you can grow. And I like to help people, and I want to have a good team and do good work. So it all fits hand in hand. And I want to help my team to be the best they can and to go in lots of different directions, not just on this boat, but in the industry or life in general.
And it's interesting that you say that, because in the course, we learn how to become a transformational leader. And you're doing all of those things that fit into that, under that umbrella specifically. Now, you're coming to the end of the course. What does leadership mean to you now? Is it any different to when you first started?
Yes. I always knew there was a difference between leadership and management, but it has definitely helped to define and distinguish that clear difference between the two. A manager is the title and your job task. The leader is, anyone can be a leader, whether you're a manager or not. And it's how you go about motivating and impacting and guiding people. Yeah.
And we can't underestimate the sense of responsibility associated with being a leader. It's very complex. As you introduce the topic about working with difficult personalities, there is not one style that fits all. And that's why in the course you learn about self-leadership. I think that is number one before you lead others, is understanding self so that you can better manage self and better manage others. So in the course, I know a standout module for you was the application of skill, and that involved running a values workshop. What did you learn from that values workshop?
The key importance of knowing your team and each other's core values, not necessarily pertaining to work, but to anything of them, because how they value anything in life, whether it be in work or personal, is going to impact what they do, say, like, don't like in the workplace. So if you can understand those values a little bit better, you're going to understand how to interact and direct or alter your style. So that's something else that I sort of learned is, you know, you can't change other people, but you can change and adapt yourself. And so understanding people's values, I can adapt using the skills that I've learned to target their values, so that no one's values are compromised as such. We all just learn to complement them and respect each other. And so doing the values workshop, there were some values that we all kind of knew of each other within the team, but doing the values workshop, we did learn a few little values about each other that were maybe a little bit of a surprise. It was interesting to see which ones matched within the team and which ones didn't. And I had a girl that was very new in the recruitment process, only a week when I'd done the workshop. Her values were very different, and her placement only lasted 17 days due to her not fitting with the team, literally that reason. So it was very interesting to see how that all impacted, and just to gain a perspective and respect of each other.
So do you believe in the recruitment process it is important to put a question in around values to find the right fit for the position?
Yes, I changed my interview strategy a little bit after that girl. I mean, I did everything the same in the interview strategy that I normally do, but I had one extra question that I had never done before. And I asked what values they appreciated out of a list that I called out. And on that list, I had some values from myself, some values from my other two stewardesses, some values from my captain, and some values that were very, very different. And so I was looking to see if they picked similar ones or different ones, or if they had other ones that they thought were relevant. And it was a good, I really enjoyed that question in my interview process, and I think I will keep that for sure.
Fantastic. And I know that you were in Rybovich and someone overheard you interviewing someone and asked about, I think, was he a chief engineer?
Yeah, so I was, because the boat was coming out of water, so I was sitting in the cafe by the pool while the boat was coming out and doing an interview. And I didn't realize, but a guy next to me was listening to the whole thing. As I closed the interview, he asked if he could ask a question. And I said, yeah, sure. He introduced himself, his name, and yeah, he was an engineer. And he said, what am I hoping to get as an answer to the last question about values? He said, it seems such a cliche question that everyone always asks, and you always get the same, like everyone's going to pick all those values. And so I explained to him, well, actually, no, not everyone's going to pick all those values, because I've strategically picked some that are very different and some that match my current teams. So I was looking to see which end of the spectrum the candidate would fit. And so once I explained that to him, he found it quite fascinating, and he just explained that he was looking for work at the time, so he was doing a lot of interviews, and so he just found it very interesting.
Yeah, and I love that through your learning you've inspired others, not purposefully in that occasion, but isn't that amazing that you can plant a seed in terms of helping people look at things differently?
Yeah, I felt like yeah, as you say, had planted a seed and definitely had a positive impact. And through doing that question, I mean, it's probably not just that question, but I think it definitely helped to keep me on track. The next girl that I got is a very good fit personality with the team. And she ticked all the same values that the rest of us teammates had. So that was good.
Brilliant, brilliant. Now, is there anything that you have tweaked with regards to your leadership style or your management style as a result of doing the course?
It's quite a deep question for an on-the-spot answer. I would say, it's been brought to my attention because doing this course, we've had to seek a lot of feedback from people through direct questioning and indirect questioning. And I've also had to do a lot of self-evaluation. And so through that, I've sort of realized that maybe sometimes I can be a little bit quick to react. And so I've sort of, I don't know that I've made a huge difference, but I think I've definitely made a little bit of a difference in stopping, thinking, let's readdress this later, and just sort of looking more at my teammates' values and beliefs a little bit more through different eyes. And so I have just today introduced a new system within the team, actually. It's very similar to something I used to do with a previous team. We'll be doing our jobs list when we have no guests from an application called Microsoft To Do, which came to my mind because of one of my teammates not really being happy with the morning meetings. And with doing the course, I am able to sort of maybe see and understand why that is and look at different strategies that maybe will suit my teammates better.
Amazing. And I love that insight. Something that would suit my teammates better. And I find in our industry, what's very common is that leaders think, no, they need to work within my leadership mentality, what I think is right, not what they think is right or what's going to suit them. It needs to suit me. And that's not effective leadership. So what you're working towards is collaboration. Through collaboration, you build harmonious teams. Harmonious teams provide you with increased morale, productivity, and engagement. And naturally, the guests will benefit from that, not only yourself and the team members. And that's what we're looking for. Natalie, thank you so much for this incredible interview. Congratulations on making it through to the end of the course. It's not an easy course, but you've done it. You should be super proud of yourself. And I cannot wait to follow you and hear how you've inspired so many more people.
Thank you very much, Corinne. It's been a very interesting and fascinating and successful course to do. I recommend it.
Wow, thank you. Hi there, Corinne from the Crew Coach here. If you found this interview interesting and you're passionate about leadership and becoming a transformational leader so that you can better yourself, better your team, and better the industry, then do get in touch and get on my waitlist for the Advanced Leadership course.